Hello, creative people. Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to do a review of the oil pastel chalks from the Portfolio series 24 colors. Took me a long time to find anything about these pastel chalks. And what I found, to my surprise, is that it is manufactured by Crayola. There is nothing here on the box saying that it is manufactured by Crayola. So I had a lot of trouble finding it because every time I searched I looked for the Portfolio series, which is what it says here. This video was an idea that a writer of mine gave me when he saw me paint with these chalks and art, in which this chalk was part of the background. And he asked me, have I never heard of this Portfolio pastel chalk? Then I had the idea of doing the review, and I want to thank this subscriber. This Crayola oil pastel from the Portfolio series has 24 colors, but there are boxes with 12 colors. The box is very cute and it has a very different way of opening, which I also really liked. As I said, the manufacturer is not written on the box. It just says Portfolio series oil pastel and no other characteristics of this chalk. When you open it, it says here that it is watercolorable, that you can do wet on wet techniques, that it blends very well, that it can be applied with brushes, and that it spreads easily. Let's continue opening the box because it is very cute, as I said. Look at this. The manufacturer says that this pastel crayon can be used with both dry and wet techniques. So let's test it. Let's see if it really works with both techniques. It also says that it has vibrant colors that mix very well, and, as I said, they are sold in 24 and 12 colors. I have a series of 24 colors here. It includes the colors black, rust, green, yellow-green, blue, true blue, violet, pink, red, orange, reddish, yellow, moss white, cerulean, blue-green, slate gray, medium brown-orange, golden brown, gray, yellow-orange, reddish-violet, peach and blue-violet. These are the colors that come in this little box that is here. When I got this box from my mother and I looked at it, I hadn't opened it yet. I thought it looked like a regular crayon, the ones we use in school. And what was my surprise? When I got home and tested it, no, it was an oil pastel. The box says oil pastel. But if you see a box of crayons, it will say that they are oil and that they are oil-based. They are considered non-toxic and I have never had any problems with them. The color of the crayon and the brand are written on the body. Portfolio series, oil pastel and nothing else. The big difference is that it comes with this sharp tip that allows, at least at the beginning, to make very precise drawings. Then, if you want, you can sharpen it. Another interesting thing is the thickness, the diameter. It is very robust. Let me take another color here. It is very robust in width compared to the chalk from this one is a Paul Rubens chalk. In comparison to the Paul Rubens chalk, it is a little thinner, but in comparison to the Pastel chalk, which is what we find most here on the market, it is the most popular. It is much thicker, right? The Pastel chalk is very thin. Another interesting thing different is that it is not as dry a chalk as the Pastel chalk. You pass your hand over the Pastel chalk, nothing comes off on your hand. It even leaves a little color. But it is also not as oily as the Paul Rubens chalk, which is very interesting, so we have a middle ground here. So let's test it out, let's see what we can do with it. I personally already know it. You can see here that I've used it a lot. Let's see what we can do with it. I got a sheet of paper and I've already made a color chart for it. They are very vibrant colors, they don't come off easily once they dry. In this color chart specifically, I didn't use varnish to hold the color. And it's been with me for so long that I'll tell you, it doesn't come off once it dries, okay? As I said, it comes off easily on the paper. Look how wonderful. It can be easily mixed with your finger. You can see how it was easily cleaned with your finger. We're going to see if it can mix the colors. Look, I'm going over the pink and it left the pink's opacity. My finger is still slightly green. Let's not do what I just did. Always remember to clean your finger and the tip of the pastel, but look how beautiful it turned out, even slightly greenish. Look how it made a nice gradient here. Let's use another color. To be sure, let's use this lilac here. Sometimes it smears the paper very quickly. That was something I had already noticed about it. Another shade of lilac. It's so hard to find the blue. And the cerulean blue. Let's clean our finger and see how it blends into each other. Creates a very smooth gradient between the colors, but sometimes that's what I said. Look, it soaks into the paper. Let's see how it works with water. I'm going to take a tank brush that I have. My brush already has water in it, and let's see what we can do. Oh, let's take this color, which is earth brown rustic. Look, it really is watercolorable. So let's do a test here. Different now from what he watercolored. Let's see what we can do. I'll draw a little rose. Turned out pretty, really pretty. The rose looked nice, it spread the pigment I needed. I liked it. It's not an expensive pastel chalk. Let's see how he mixes the colors. I think I'll put two colors here. I'll put red again because the red and green, probably one dragging over the other, will have to give a little brown there. It's impressive how it really darkened like a grayish brown. How well he spread the colors. Still stays here. The manufacturer also says that we can remove the chalk directly with water. Let's use this one here that we haven't used yet. It's very light, so let's see. Maybe because it's too light. It's an ochre. It didn't come out right, but let's get another color here, a little darker. Wet it, no. It's not dragging directly from the chalk. At least from what I understood the manufacturer said. A little color does come out. But nothing significant. It's better to paint and drag it. It doesn't come out right if you brush the chalk with water. But damn, I really liked knowing that it's watercolor. I had never really stopped to read about it. I really liked the mixtures, the colors, the homogenization here. This watercolor surprised me. He mixed it, and it came out a shade of brown, which is what we expected from mixing green with red, which are the opposite colors on the color wheel. Let's make a drawing to see what we're going to get out of this. I'll get it here so we can make a drawing, that's it. I've already learned my role here. I separated some colors. The colors I'm going to use in this art I'll leave in the video description. A cloth to clean your hands and clean the chalk. Let's see how it behaves in the test. So let's start with yellow. I'm going to try to make some dandelions. Like all pastel chalk, when you want a little more, just take a little bit off the cover and you'll have more chalk. Well, now I could use my finger or a cotton swab, but I decided to use the dry cotton swab. Let's see how it works. It spreads well on the blacks. Spreading, come on, very easy to spread. With the help of the cotton swab, it was very easy. With the pastel chalk, sometimes I need to use a little baby oil. Let's change the side of the cotton swab because now I'm going from the lighter side to the darker side. What I want is to make a transition like a blur. Now the moment of truth has come. Let's see if this white here can cover what I need. As you can see, the white didn't cover what we wanted. I can use the scalpel technique. Let's try to remove the color and make a little more white. Another way to make white is using the white pen itself, or white gouache paint. I'm going to leave one undone. Let's try to do it with the white gouache. I liked it so much that I'm making the others. Every time I do any art with pastel chalk, I like to blend the edges with a very fine blender, going from light to dark. Always clean the tip of the blender, just to soften the edge of the main drawing. There you go. I thought it blended the colors well, the white lightened. But it wasn't as strong as I intended. Then I did it with the help of a white pen and gouache. I also used a craft knife to make the lines here like the thin ones here. I made them with a craft knife, which exposes the white of the paper again. And up here I used gouache, which also gives a really cool effect when painting with oil pastels. Well, I hope you liked it. This was our review of the oil pastels from Portfolio. If you liked it, I ask that you help the channel by subscribing and sharing it with other artists who also like pastels. I confess that I'm going to use it more than I used to, mainly because it can be used as a watercolor. I really liked it again, thanks to the subscriber who gave me the idea to do this review. I hope you liked it. Thank you and see you next time.
Enjoy! They are still free for Prime and Kindle Unlimited subscribers.